Hi, I'm Suzanne Docobo, top agent in Central Florida. If you're thinking of selling your home today, there's really two lanes you have to choose from. You can either be the diamond or you can be the deal. In the current market, you no longer have multiple bidding wars amongst buyers. It isn't like a list it and it flies off the shelf type of market anymore. So what you have to do is determine what your property is. Is it the diamond or the deal? So let me explain and break it down for you what I mean by each category. So let's start with the diamond. The diamond is a superior property. It's gonna have great condition, great quality, lots of upgrades, usually a desirable layout, desirable neighborhood, so desirable location. Also, it's going to have a nice presentation. It's gonna show really well, curb appeal. Basically, it's gonna stand out amongst the competition. Why would someone pay a premium for this property? Because it is amongst the top tier. So that's what we call a diamond. Even when you're the diamond, you're not gonna chase every buyer. You're gonna be looking for the right buyer, the one that appreciates the upgrade, understands the justification in price, somebody who's willing to pay a premium for a premium product. So you wanna minimize concessions, you wanna sell quickly. Now there still is a price point where you can price it too high. So just because you're the diamond, don't go way above the market, right? We're just talking about going a little bit above the other houses in the neighborhood where you can justify that you're a better product than the competition. So now let's talk about the deal. So if your property doesn't have necessarily all the upgrades, maybe it has some cosmetic issues that haven't been repaired, potentially not the most desirable layout, or maybe even not the best location. So if you look at that as compared to your competition, what you're gonna wanna do is price it aggressively. Price it below. Don't price it in the middle. So the goal is to show value to buyers. So since you're priced well, then that's gonna attract more buyers. And you could potentially have a buyer who sees that value, buys the property, they can do their own upgrades and repairs after closing, but they understand the value in the property as it is. So if you choose to price your property in the middle, you have no compelling reason for a buyer to be interested in your property, right? It's just kind of in the middle, nothing exciting about it. It doesn't have the premium finishes, so they're not gonna pay extra. It doesn't have a value proposition. There's more homes on the market now. Buyers have more options. So what you don't wanna do is price it in the middle. If you price it in the middle, chances are it's gonna sit on the market longer. You're probably gonna have to do price drops from time to time, and it just doesn't have that excitement factor. So it's not the best strategy. If you are the deal, price it aggressively from the beginning in this current market. If you're the diamond, price it above the rest from the beginning. I'm not saying ridiculously above. Every seller believes their house is worth more than it is, and every buyer believes it's less than it is. So you just wanna be smart, have your agent look at the comparables, go over the pricing strategy with you, but try to stay away from the messy middle. For my diamond sellers, you are going to be listing your property slightly above market. So for that reason, you need to make sure that your marketing materials coincide with that. So what does that mean? That means high quality photography, drone footage, videos, showing the lifestyle, explaining the upgrades. Why is this house being priced a little bit higher? What is the value? You're gonna wanna make sure that you are firm yet realistic. Wait for the right buyer to come along, the one that appreciates the upgrades. Also, in this type of diamond situation, you kind of minimize the concessions to buyers. So you don't wanna be offering credits for this or that or the other, because that would also appear to decrease the value of the property. So those are all the things that I can say. If you have a premium property, definitely be the diamond. For my deal sellers, you're gonna be pricing right below the market. So in this situation, what you wanna do is create urgency. You wanna show value by offering concessions, showing that maybe you just replaced the roof, certain things that you've done to the property to make it a good deal, to show that value. You're trying to get more competition, more eyes on the property. You could say things like seller motivated, we can close quickly, but you also don't wanna sound desperate. So that's a nice balancing act. But if you position it properly and you can still show the value, and also with my deal properties, I still recommend great marketing materials. So we always do professional photos, and we always do, drones. We do videos for a lot of our properties. So even if you're not the diamond and you're the deal, it still doesn't hurt to have some good marketing along with that. No matter what property you have, we will sit down with you and go over the comparables in the neighborhood. We'll also look at the photos so we can see what properties are selling for and what's actually working in a particular neighborhood. If you're going to be the diamond or the deal, always present great marketing either way. And you have to clearly communicate which strategy you're doing. But you want to really avoid being in the middle. Right now, all we're seeing is people that are in the middle doing multiple price drops, days on market, sitting there, especially when you have a lot of inventory. Buyers have a lot more options, and so they have a lot more to choose from. So they're looking for the best value for their buck. You're always going to have the buyer that's willing to pay the premium for the nice product, but you're also going to have the buyer that's looking for the value. So just be really, really careful and make sure that before you list it, that you stay away from the middle, so that way you can avoid a lot of price drops. All right, in conclusion, if you're looking to sell your house, you don't want to be a floater in the middle. You have to choose a lane, be the diamond or a deal. So if you're thinking of selling, reach out to us. We're happy to sit down. We'll run the comparable sales. We'll look at your home's condition, look at inventory sitting on the market, and figure out the best strategy to sell your house. Give us a call, and if you like this content, like and subscribe below. We look forward to seeing you on the next video.